So to navigate the warfare landing page, if you take a look at the top first, there's the syllabus, which if you open that, it's got information about the course, but primarily my email address at the front and the hours that I'm available on Schoology to contact me. You can always contact me via that email address. A parking lot for discussions or questions that you need to ask about the class that's pertinent to the entire class, and I'll answer them for everybody there. There's this resources folder, which I'll add things to as they become pertinent to the class. Right now, the only thing in there is the quad chart, which is the way that I want everybody to take notes on the discussions and lectures in this class. So if you look at it, quad chart is something that I have developed over years, really in the Army for planning purposes. And I could take something that was really fairly complex and big and drive it down to four, concise pieces of information. I've adapted that a little bit for this class, but really at the top, you've got the essential question. The essential question will be on the first slide of every one of those recorded lectures, and then four quadrants. So in the upper left, anything in that lecture that has to do with politics, national leaders, or national policy, you'll write in that part. Military and operational terms, you'll write in the upper right-hand quadrant. Lower left-hand quadrant, weapons, strategy, and technology, which is really the development or introduction of new weapons in the lower left. And in the lower right, battles, specific battles, dates, and military leaders from those battles. And then at the bottom, you have an area for a summary, which doesn't have a text box in it. So when you write that summary, you have to make a text box and then type your summary in there. These right now I'm requiring to be turned in with every lecture. And every one of those lectures has to be watched before you come to class. So for the first one we did in class together, for every other one while we were out doing remote learning. And even when we go into the hybrid model, I think I'm going to record these for you guys to watch on your days off. So when we come into class, we can actually do something with the information. So watch these, upload this document to the assignment where it says, like yesterday's, the first one was outbreak notes. I think the ones that's loaded today and tomorrow for the classes is trench warfare. The trench warfare notes, you'll take these and then you'll upload it. Also note, there's two of them on the document. You don't need to fill out two of them. Every one of these lectures you should be able to fill out on one page of these documents. The next thing is if you open up the weekly assignments all fall under that week. Pay attention to the due date. Don't get ahead of things and just start doing assignments to get them knocked out, because a lot of this you'll be afforded time to do in class. The lectures are going to be located in a folder titled lectures. The first one on day one of class we watched together was the outbreak of war. These are YouTube links. If you just click on them, you should get a box up, and then it should be able to play directly in your browser. But again, just remember that they're in the lectures folder, and the lectures folder goes with these assignments. So assignment that was due the first day of school was the outbreak of war notes. The one that's due today and tomorrow for the ending of week one is trench warfare notes. The simulation will be done in class today and tomorrow, depending on what day you're coming in. And then World War I's weapons profile is a project for the entire unit, and there'll be one of these for each one of the units that we do of some type. This one is fairly easy and straightforward. The due date is September 10th, which is a couple weeks away. It's due at midnight. They're always due at midnight, and then I'll grade them on the following day. As you look at it, there are 10 weapon systems. These weapon systems are talked about in the trench warfare lesson, so there's a little bit of detail in there, and you can use that as one of your references. But artillery, tanks, poison gas, cavalry, machine guns, flamethrower, grenades, aviation, submarines, and mines. You need to build a document or a slide presentation that on every slide, so 10 slides, because there are 10 systems, has two visual aids. Visual aid can be a picture of it. It could also be like a schematic from a technical manual. And then describe when the weapon was first introduced in the war, advantages and disadvantages, two of those for the weapons, and then two advantages, two disadvantages, and then strategic and tactical uses, and try to include a specific battle. I think most of you will have different battles. Aside from poison gas, gas is pretty concrete when it was used, but you'll have varying battles very close together when machine guns were used and things like that. So that's the portfolio or the weapons profile, and again, it's due on September 10th. Back into week one. The last thing will be a video that we'll either watch today or I'll assign it as homework over the weekend. It's really short. It's got a couple embedded questions to it. But that's basically how the class is broken down. So every week, these assignments will come available to you and you can see them. Again, watch the due dates. Don't get ahead of them. A lot of them you'll have 30 minutes or so in class to work on, which is why we're watching the lectures before we come to class. All right, so if you haven't seen the Warfare Organization yet, that's it. I know a few of you have missed the first couple of days of class without computers or out of town or whatever. So let me know if you have any questions. You can always send me an email. We can set up a time to conference like this, and I can explain it some more.